All right, let's just get right into it. For years, the big dream for so many traders has been pretty simple. You find a strategy that works and you put that thing on autopilot. But the reality? Well, it's usually been this technical nightmare, right? Turning a great idea into a super frustrating project. So today, we're going to look at why that's been the case, and more importantly, why it really shouldn't be so hard anymore.
I'm willing to bet this hits home for a lot of you. You've got this killer strategy, you've done the backtesting, you just know it's got potential. But then the moment you try to hook it up to a live broker, bam! You hit this brick wall of weird configurations, extra software, and a million things that can go wrong. It's such a common roadblock, and man, is it frustrating.
And look, it's not just you feeling this way. This is a totally shared experience in the trading world. This quote from a forum user just nails it. Everyone knows that when you start layering software on top of software, like using a gateway just to talk to your broker, it's not just complicated, it's fragile. Every single extra step is just another chance for Murphy's Law to kick in right when it matters most.
So let's just call it what it is. It's a maze. For the longest time, connecting a platform you love, like TradingView, to a serious broker like Interactive Brokers meant you had to navigate this incredibly complex and, let's be honest, pretty outdated process. Let's actually take a look at what that maze looked like.
I mean, just look at this. This isn't even the automation part yet. This is just trying to open the door. This is the manual setup for Interactive Brokers' own software. You have to open the program, click through like 5 menus deep, know what ActiveX and socket clients even means, know the exact port numbers for paper versus live trading, and then start messing with trusted IP addresses. And you have to do all of that before you've sent a single order. It's wild.
And this slide just lays out all the headaches perfectly. First, you need this piece of software running on your computer 24/7. That software needs Java to run, and it's famous for being, as one user put it, terrible on system resources. It's a resource hog. And every single link in that chain, your script, the gateway software, your internet, the broker's connection, is a place where the whole thing can fall apart. It's a house of cards, really.
But okay, beyond all the complexity and the risk of it just breaking, there's this hidden cost. It's a cost you can't always see, and it's measured in milliseconds. Every single one of those steps we just talked about adds a little bit of delay. And in trading, what is that delay? It's latency. And latency can be the difference between a winning trade and a losing one. Simple as that. Now, check out how this delay actually stacks up. This data comes from Pick My Trade. So your signal gets generated. Boom. That takes 50 milliseconds. Then TradingView has to send it out. That's another 50. Then your automation service has to catch it and process it. Add another 50. And finally, the broker actually executes the trade, and you guessed it, that's another 50 milliseconds. Each step feels tiny on its own, but they add up fast.
So you add it all up, and what do you get? Over 200 milliseconds. That might not sound like a lot, but that is nearly a quarter of a second. In a market that's moving fast, the price you thought you were getting can be ancient history in that amount of time. This is the real-world cost of a clunky system. This is what we call slippage, and it's just waiting to happen.
But here's the thing. What if you could just skip all of that? What if you could bypass that entire chain of local software and complicated setups? Well, that's exactly what a whole new generation of platforms is focused on doing. They're building way simpler, way faster, and way more reliable bridges to get your signal from A to B.
And the difference is it's night and day. Seriously, on the left, you've got the old way, this fragile system of gateways running on your desktop with custom-coded alerts you have to build yourself. And on the right, you've got the new way, tough cloud-native infrastructure, which just means it was built to live on the internet, not on your PC, that's always on, with super simple alerts, and a design that's all about one thing: speed and reliability. And this new approach has given rise to some really cool new trading platforms. You've got platforms like CTrader, which is a chartist's paradise, especially if you know C#. Then there's MatchTrader, a real workhorse for professionals who need reliability. And then you have something like TradeLocker, which is built from the ground up on TradingView and has this mind-blowing AI-powered studio.
So when you boil it all down, what's the big idea? It's simple. The whole revolution is about moving all that complicated, messy stuff off your computer and into the cloud. Platforms like Traders Post, Pick My Trade, and the ones we just saw, they handle the connections, the uptime, the security, so that you can focus on the one thing that actually matters: your strategy.
But maybe the biggest game changer of all is happening right now, and it's threatening to make coding expertise completely optional for automation. We're talking about the rise of the no-code, or at least low-code future of trading.
For decades, this is what you thought of when you heard automated trading, right? Screens full of code. You basically had to be a developer. You had to speak MQL or C# and navigate these complex programming environments. It was a world built by coders for coders.
Okay, now, forget all that code and just listen to this. This is the new reality. With tools like TradeLocker Studio, you don't write code. You just describe your rules in plain English. You say, if the RSI crosses above 70, then sell. And the platform writes the bot for you. This isn't just an improvement, it's a total democratization of automation.
Let's just pause for a second and appreciate what this actually means. All those huge friction points, the ones that have plagued traders for 20 years, they're just gone. No more wrestling with local software, no more digging through API settings, and for most people, no more needing to become a programmer just to try out a trading idea. The walls have completely come down.
So this really brings us to this one last big question. For years, it was easy to blame the technology. You could say it was too complex, the latency was too high, the setup was a pain. But now, with these cloud platforms and AI tools, that excuse is kind of fading away. If the technology isn't the bottleneck anymore, then the spotlight turns right back to the one thing that has always mattered most: the quality of the strategy itself.